Hello everyone and welcome back to the Linux tutorial. On this video we are going to learn some of the basic operations in Linux. When I say basic operations, they are the essential commands for our day-to-day life in Linux. So as a first step, let us start the Ubuntu instance in VirtualBox by clicking on the normal start. So you will have the GUI of the Ubuntu opening up here. Let us just wait for the GUI. Then you can also close these unwanted pop-ups and clear the screen. Now the Ubuntu operating system has been completely up and running on your VirtualBox. Here we are not primarily interested for the GUI part of the Ubuntu system, because when you're working as a tester or developer, we normally log into this Linux operating system remotely, so we will have only the terminal. So it is very important that you should get familiar with the terminal commands, and the GUI will be there or not, but that is optional. So most of the time, in my experience in the last several years, wherever we have a Linux, we don't really have the luxury of these graphical user interfaces just like this. We normally get the terminal like this, so you can perform everything through this terminal. And the advantage of having only the terminal is you don't need to really install the GUI part of the Linux. In Linux you can also install your operating system without the GUI. So if you just do that, then you will not spoil your memory by loading all this GUI part of the Linux. So just expect only this terminal when you work on Linux, probably in your job. But when you have Linux at your desktop, you will definitely have the GUI of the Linux. But now we are more interested in learning the commands of Linux. So as a first step, you need to understand which directory that you are in. So you can just do pwd, and the current position of your terminal is home jobby. And whenever you get this dollar symbol, that really means that okay, you're actually a user, but you don't have the administrator rights. In case if you want to add the administrator rights, just give sudo su and provide password, and your symbol will be changed to hash. So if you want to install something in Ubuntu, you should definitely have this hash symbol instead of dollar, because the dollar has very limited capacity in installing it. But if you have hash symbol, that means you have the installation permission, or in a single word you can say you are the administrator of this Linux. So now, since I have installed, I have the administrator rights, so basically I change the status of this to hash itself. Now let us learn the very useful command in Linux, ls, list. So basically list command will list out all the directories and the files in this particular location. So first we saw we are in home jobby directory, and then using ls command we have explored all the folders and files in that particular directory. Now as a next step, let us go ahead and create a directory here. So I'm just going to create a directory, mkdir, make directory, name it like my dir. So mkdir is the command to create the directory, and my dir is the name of the directory. Let me click on it. So you didn't get any error message popped up, which means your operation was successful. Now let us perform this ls command once again and make sure the folder has been created successfully. When you give ls this time, let us check for that particular folder here. Perfect, you have this folder here, my directory. And if you notice, you can also differentiate the folders and files based on the color. Here desktop is a folder, documents is another folder, but dead.letter is a file. And here music, my dir, node, modules, they're all directories. They come in gray color, and whatever comes in pure white color, they are actually files. Now you can move into any of these directories. Let me move into my own directory, my dir. So if you want to move into your own directory, the command that you need to use is cd. Cd stands for change directory. So your current directory is basically home jobby. Now you're going to change your directory to my dir. So let me change to my dir. Perfect. Click on enter. You didn't get any errors is pop up, so which means your operation is successful. And now you can see your location is under home jobby mydir. So let us give ls here. You don't have anything there. So perfect. So now if you want to come back, you can just cd space / and give ls. You have the you came back to home jobby. Now in case if you give a wrong command, let us see how Linux will help us to identify that. Instead of mkdir, I'm just giving an additional r. So here I'm typing a wrong command. Instead of mkdir, I typed mkdirr, and then I'm just typing a different directory, maybe my dir1. I got a error message popped up. No command mkdir found. Did you mean mkdir? Even the Linux can suggest you what is the right command. So I hope now you are familiar with some of the basic operations like pwd to get the current directory, and also how to move from the user privilege to the administrator privilege. And you can also differentiate by looking at the symbol itself. If you have the $, that means you have the only user permission. You really don't have the administrator rights to install any software. But if you have the hash symbol, that means you have the administrator rights. And then the ls command, the list command, is basically to list out all the files and directories in that particular location. And then we have learned mkdir to create a directory, and also we saw that directory that we created here. And then to change the directory, we have cd, and we move to mydir using the cd change directory command. And then if you want to come down to the previous directory, you can just use cd space .. And in case if you give a wrong command, you will also get a pop-up by just showing that okay, that command is invalid. And sometimes you'll also get the Linux can redirect to the right command. I hope you enjoyed this video. In case if you have any questions on this part of the lecture, please feel free to log into our Q&A session. Otherwise, I'm looking forward to see you on the next video. Thank you.